In our busy lives, we often overlook the strength of silence. Surrounded by the constant noise of thoughts, words, and actions, Buddhism teaches us that silence is not just valuable, it's a powerful catalyst for change. Let's explore 5 key situations where silence is not only recommended, but transformative. Think of silence not just as the absence of noise, but as a deep state of being. As Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh beautifully describes it, Buddhism values mental space and encourages us to cultivate it in various aspects of our life. Silence becomes a pathway to inner peace, mindfulness, and self-awareness, allowing us to listen not only to the external world, but also to the whispers within our hearts and minds. It's a tool that can reshape how we engage with the world and tackle life's challenges. As we delve into these 5 situations where silence is virtuous in Buddhism, remember it's about being present and intentional, not passive. Silence becomes our source of empowerment, the power of silence. Silence is not just the absence of noise, it's a profound state of being. Thich Nhat Hanh emphasizes that silence is essential. We need silence just as much as plants need light. When our minds are cluttered with words and thoughts, there's no space. Buddhism recognizes this space and encourages its cultivation in various aspects of life. Silence is a gateway to inner peace, mindfulness, and self-awareness. It offers us the opportunity to listen not only to the world outside, but more importantly, to the whispers of our hearts and minds. It's a powerful tool that can transform the way we interact with the world and navigate life's challenges. Silence in the face of anger. Imagine always being silent when angry. Profound, right? Anger, a powerful and often destructive emotion, arises from attachment, aversion, and ignorance, according to Buddhism. Silence is the antidote. It provides space to pause, reflect, and observe emotional reactions without immediate judgment or expression. Through silence, we can engage in mindful breathing and self-inquiry, gaining insight into the root causes of our anger. It acts as a shield against harsh words and actions, preventing harm to others and ourselves. In the silence of restraint, we can protect relationships and foster an atmosphere of calm and understanding. Buddhism teaches about the 2 arrows, the initial pain we experience, the first arrow, and the suffering we inflict on ourselves through our reaction, the second arrow. Silence in the face of anger helps avoid shooting that second arrow, reducing unnecessary suffering. To understand this teaching, explore the nature of anger itself. In Buddhism, anger often stems from attachments and aversions. Silence allows a step back from the intensity of anger, creating a buffer between emotions and reactions. Instead of lashing out, one can breathe, find stillness, and observe anger without judgment. This practice, rooted in mindfulness and self-awareness, allows asking essential questions about the root causes of anger. Insights may reveal unrealistic attachments, misunderstandings triggering aversions or expectations causing suffering. Silence acts like a shield, safeguarding us from the fallout of impulsive words and actions. During moments of anger, we might say hurtful things or make regrettable decisions. Opting for silence prevents us from causing harm to others and preserves the integrity of our relationships. The story of the 2 arrows illustrates this beautifully. The first arrow symbolizes the initial pain or suffering we feel when something distressing happens, a natural part of life. However, the second arrow represents the suffering we cause ourselves through our reaction to the first arrow. Responding with anger shoots that second arrow, adding unnecessary pain. Practicing silence in the face of anger allows us to deal with the first arrow more skillfully. It's like a superhero move against unnecessary suffering. We acknowledge the pain without letting anger compound it, reducing our suffering and preventing harm to others. Silence in the face of anger empowers us to transform it into understanding and compassion, cultivating emotional resilience and wisdom. This isn't about suppressing emotions, but an invitation to engage with them constructively. Silence creates a space for self-reflection and self-compassion, like having a quiet moment to acknowledge anger without passing judgment. Moreover, silence turns our ears into superheroes. When angry, we often forget to listen. Choosing silence allows us to truly understand the situation and the people involved, interrupting the cycle of negative emotions and action. It promotes a chance for a more peaceful resolution. Silence in the face of anger leads to greater emotional balance and equanimity, freeing us from the suffering caused by anger, a superhero status achieved. Moving on to the next superhero skill, silence in the face of gossip and slander. Picture a world where silence becomes the superhero cape against harmful talk. Silence isn't just about keeping quiet, it's a powerful move that makes gossipers rethink their words. Gossip and slander, seen as villains in Buddhism, go against the superhero code of right speech, speaking truthfully, kindly, and beneficially. Silence becomes a superhero shield, preventing us from participating in harmful speech and allowing reflection on the intention behind gossip. Choosing silence aligns with the superhero code and promotes a compassionate and harmonious society. It breaks the cycle of negativity, protecting our moral standing and emotional well-being. Silence becomes a superhero stance that makes others reconsider the impact of their words. In a broader sense, silence in the face of gossip and slander fosters a culture of kindness, respect, and empathy. It encourages understanding and compassion, contributing to a more positive and harmonious community. Now on to our next superhero skill, silence during conflict. Conflict is a sidekick in the superhero story of human interactions, and Buddhism suggests silence as our superhero move in response to conflict, bringing mindfulness, compassion, and understanding into the mix. Conflicts arise when opinions, values, or interests clash, leading to heated arguments and emotional turmoil. In these moments, silence acts like a cool-headed superhero, providing space for reflection and responding with wisdom and compassion. It's not about suppressing feelings, but creating room for active listening, empathy, and finding common ground. Choosing silence allows both parties to express themselves without fear of judgment or escalation. It acts as a pause button, preventing impulsive reactions that can worsen the situation. Buddhism sees conflicts as part of human relationships and advocates for the mindful and compassionate resolution found in the wisdom of silence. Conflicts often stem from differences in opinions, values, or interests, turning into emotional distress and harm to relationships. Buddhism recognizes the complexity of conflicts and sees silence as a conscious choice to create space for understanding. Silence encourages active listening and empathy, fostering a more constructive conversation. Silence becomes a superhero tool for active listening, focusing on the other person's perspective and cooling down heated situations. It also offers a chance for self-reflection, helping us consider the root causes of the conflict and potential solutions. Instead of escalating conflicts with anger or defensiveness, silence encourages a thoughtful and considerate response, preventing further negativity. In conflict resolution, silence emphasizes the well-being of relationships and mutual understanding over the need to be right. It aligns with Buddhist principles of non-attachment, suggesting that clinging to ego-driven desires leads to suffering. Silence helps navigate conflicts with wisdom, empathy, and understanding, fostering magic-like outcomes of empathy, compassion, and compromise. Shifting to the next lesson, silence in times of suffering envisions silence as a compassionate superhero response when witnessing the suffering of others. Buddhism, centered on compassion, views silence as a powerful way to express empathy and offer solace. Instead of immediately offering comforting words or advice, silence communicates our presence and willingness to listen without judgment. When faced with others' suffering, our instinct is often to speak words of comfort. However, Buddhism suggests that silence can be a more profound and compassionate response. This aligns with the principle of right speech, emphasizing the importance of speaking kindly and beneficially. In the face of another's suffering, silence becomes a compassionate superhero, offering comfort through the quiet strength of presence. Let's explore how silence, seen as an intentional choice and a superhero cape in Buddhism, transforms 5 crucial situations: anger, gossip, conflict, witnessing others' suffering, and our own struggles. In times of others' suffering, silence becomes a language of presence and empathy. It communicates, "I'm here for you," ready to listen, creating a safe space for sharing without judgment. This silent compassion aligns with Buddhism's core principle of actively desiring to alleviate others' suffering. Buddhism advises silence in our own suffering, a call for self-compassion. Turning inward during challenges, silence becomes a haven for introspection, acknowledging pain without judgment. In this quiet sanctuary, we process emotions, connect with inner strength, and discover truths about ourselves and suffering's transient nature. Silence isn't always the sole answer, but Buddhism encourages viewing it as a valuable response. Sometimes the most significant gift is quiet presence, empathetic listening, and a willingness to share in others' pain. Silence, beyond saying nothing, creates a meaningful space for reflection and response. It aligns with right speech, compassion, and non-attachment principles from the Eightfold Path. Consistently choosing silence empowers us to transform negative emotions, nurture compassion, and contribute to a more harmonious world. Integrating these teachings leads to a journey of self-discovery, aligning with Buddhism's ideals, alleviating suffering, cultivating mindfulness, and recognizing interconnectedness. Silence becomes a tool for finding solutions to life's challenges and uncovering a path to inner peace and enlightenment. Thich Nhat Hanh emphasizes, silence is essential. We need silence just as much as we need air, just as much as plants need light. In the profound silence of these situations, we discover the space for mindful, compassionate, and authentic living. It's a transformative journey where silence becomes a powerful tool for mindful compassion and personal growth. Thanks for joining us on Wisdom Diaries. We hope today's story have brought positivity to your day. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends and family. Your support means a lot as we continue this journey together. Stay inspired and see you in the next video.